It's about their life, it's about their relationship, and it's about cooking.
We're going back to the films now and the taste of things. So, Andy, can you introduce a clip for us?
Sure. 18th century French cooking in a French manner with a French lord and his mistress, who's his chief cook. Here's a clip.
Here's a clip to test your French O-level.
Plus de 20 ans à travailler ensemble. Je faisais une recette et elle faisait des merveilles sous le feu.
Nous passons plus de temps ensemble que bien des époux.
Je vous le demande encore, Eugénie. Marions-nous.
Combien de fois encore allez-vous me poser cette question?
I absolutely love this. Terrific performances by Juliette, Binoche and Benoît, Magimel. Basically, the first 20 minutes of this film, we're watching a cook and her team preparing a meal. That's it. We watch the vegetables being washed. We watch the meat being prepared. We watch the plates being warmed. It basically is the first 20 minutes of the film, and you kind of think, what is going on here? I mean, it's a sumptuous meal. It makes your mouth water. Sorry, Bob, are you going to...
I say, given Scott's view on the zone of interest, this doesn't sound like it's going to be his sort of film.
And then the meal, we suddenly realise we're in a big lord's house. The meal is being prepared by a cook and a team, as I say, for the lord, who is a gourmet, and his gourmet friends. And then the next 10 minutes is them eating the meal and commenting on it. We slowly come to realise as the film develops that the lord is in love with the chef, with the cook. They're having a relationship. And basically, that's it. That's it. There's some tragedy along the way. It's about their life, it's about their relationship, and it's about cooking in the 18th century. I absolutely loved it. This is one of the best lit films I have seen in a very long time. There's a scene where two of them are talking in the garden, and the lighting, which is kind of bluey shade of dark, black, is exquisite. It is absolutely glorious. And like the food, I just made a note that this film is sumptuous to look at. I mean, it's a treat for the eyes, even if you don't necessarily like the story, even if you don't necessarily think, oh, you know, this is old romantic nonsense. The fact of the matter is, this film is beautiful to look at. It's sumptuous for the eyes, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought following the story of the Lord and his romantic relationship with his chief cook in his house, and how they fall in love, and he keeps proposing, and she keeps saying no. Really just a lovely, gentle love story. An incredible change of pace from things we've seen recently. And, you know, after some frantic, nonsensical action that we were just talking about, to have a beautiful love story. It's a love story about, it's two people in love, but it's a love story about food as well. And, you know, there's so much about what spice do we put in? What herb do we put in? How long do we let this bit of vegetable cook? How long does the meat cook for? How do we prepare? There's one scene where they've got a young girl in the kitchen and he's training her to be, the Lord is training this young girl to be a cook. And he has her blindfolded and he's feeding her spices and sauces. And she has to tell him what she's eating, just one after the other. Again, an elongated scene that you think, this is going to be so blooming boring, let me out of here. Actually, it's engrossing. It pulls you in. And because of the fact that it's such a beautifully made film, and anything Juliette Binoche did is going to be good anyway. She's a great actress. I just loved it. I thought it was sumptuous feast for the eyes. I thought it was a lovely, lovely romantic love story. And it drew me in. And I could quite happily go and watch people preparing meals all over again.
Okay.
Because I thought it was really, really good. Loved it.
Emma, were you equally engrossed?
Yeah, I mean, I echo the majority of what Andy said there. I couldn't believe how long we were just watching someone cook at the beginning of that film. And the film itself is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it did not feel that long at all. Just the way it pays attention to all those details, like, it was just amazing. Like, in that, every time we were in that kitchen, I was just engrossed in what was going on. And like you say, the girl who's being trained, she seemed like, first of all, she seems very reserved and just not like a normal child would be, you know, hyperactive in a kitchen, trying everything. but you can see the concentration on her face, and she's watching everything and taking it all in, and she understands so much about it. The other thing that amazed me, and my friend had to tell me this because I don't know celebrity gossip, but Juliette Binoche and Benoît, whatever his name is, were married before and had a really contentious divorce and hadn't spoken.
Really?
And
I did not know that. Wow.
This came up, and they wanted to do it so much that they just said yes.
Wow.
Wow, because there's a real loving tenderness between the two of them on screen. It's incredible.
Like, genuinely. So she told me this beforehand, and I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that they would had an angry divorce, because they managed to put it aside and have such a great pairing on screen. And I mean, some of those scenes, to be doing that with your ex, I was just like, how?
It's
I
called
genuinely
acting,
don't know.
darling. It's called acting.
I mean, genuinely amazing that they managed to give this performance under those sorts of circumstances.
Yeah. And when the central moment comes where there is a moment of something happens you'd rather not happen, I was sat in my seat crying.
Yep.
It just shows how invested I was in the film. And I cried in this. I my second favourite film of the year after The Holdovers.
Oh, wow. That's saying
definitely.
something. That's saying something.
I mean, what I would say is that as much as I, if you love watching Nigella just making food porn on the television, you're going to love this. But if you, if you've got misophonia,
what is misophonia?
you can hear people eating so much.
Okay.
And it really, there is...
All right.
Yeah. There's one scene where all the men are together and they're completely engrossed in the meal, and they've got their heads under cloths over the bowl so that they're getting the whole experience. And the noise just made me physically want to curl up and die.
Okay.
It's hideous. So if you have a problem,
another equivalent to the zone of interest, then.
if you have a problem listening to the sound of people eating, this is going to be a problem.
Okay. Score out of 10, Emma.
I gave it a 9, but
9.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 as well.
Only the eating.
9.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 as well, Bob.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a Flickering Dreams score of 9.0, making it a tasty hit. Right.